Today on this video, I'm going to show you how to calibrate the front distance sensor on this vehicle, as well as the windshield camera. We are trying to correct two codes that are stored on this on these two systems. I'm gonna scan this vehicle. We're just gonna go to the ADAS menu on this vehicle. We're gonna shift to park. We don't have the lane watch system, so we're gonna select no for this particular unit, and we're gonna do a fault scan. As you can see, there is two codes on this IDAS system, and let's wait for it to stop to finish scanning, and then we're gonna see what those are for. Okay, so the two codes that we have for this vehicle, it's P2583-54 and B2 Alpha 60-54. Both of them are incomplete calibrations or aimings or relearns or whatever they want to call them. So the aiming is incomplete for both systems, the camera and the radar. So what we're going to do, we're going to select our menu to go into the calibration. So for this procedure, we're going to be using the Autel frame, which is the one we use most of the time. We're going to start with the radar calibration. And we're just going to follow instructions. As we can see right now, it says that it shouldn't be, the front of the vehicle should be clear of any obstacle. So that's what we're going to start with. Here, can you take this? Put it there and move the frame out of the way, please. So number one, we're going to move the frame out of the way. The calibration needs to be started with nothing in front of the vehicle. Okay, so that's the wall that we have in the back, and so that's going to be step number one. Then we're going to follow just directions on the scanner. We're going to click OK, and click the top one. So if you replace the sensor, or if there is a code related that says that it needs to be calibrated, that's when you have to carry on this type of calibration. We do have that accessory. That accessory is gonna let me show you what it is. Okay. So from here on, after you start the calibration, you can start positioning your frame or your reflector in front of the vehicle. And Alex is just gonna go grab the laser to show you what that accessory does. So that accessory mounts on the front of the frame. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna indicate the position. Turn it on. Can you turn it on? Sometimes we use it to position the frame in the middle of the vehicle, because all it's doing is just indicating those lines on the floor, and they reflect all the way back to the vehicle. So that's the accessory that we have. And for the reflector, which one we have? A or B? We have B, right? Okay, so we're gonna. It's that one. So that is reflector B. All right. And we're going to select B, and the measuring aid, it's that one right there. So you have both of them in there. We're going to select B, and those are all the accessories that we're going to need for this calibration. We have them here. So we're going to click OK. That's the distance that is required on the front of the vehicle. This specification is different than the original specification. If I get a chance, I'll show you at the end what the OE specifications are. Okay, so we're gonna set up the frame. We're just gonna follow instructions on the frame. Number one, we're gonna zero out both the offset and the angle. So that was the angle, and this is the offset. We're gonna look it up. Both of them should be on 0. Okay, cameras are on. We're gonna make sure we turn on our camera set, and we're gonna position the frame pretty much in the middle, in the center of the vehicle, for the clamps, right? Okay, clamps are already installed in the back, both of them. Enséñala del otro lado. That's the right one, and this is the left one right here. Okay. We're gonna click OK. Right now, it's asking us for the measuring device, and that one goes on the front axle. Some of them go on the front bumper. Some of them need to be touching the plate. Some of them need to be positioned on the corner of the vehicle. And what that thing does, it indicates the cameras what the distance is between the frame and the vehicle. That is used for positioning. Okay, if it's able to read all the targets, it'll say that it did that successfully, and it's going to ask us to remove that reflector or target or whatever the thing is called. We're going to click OK again, and now we're going to pull the frame into position. So we're just going to move it until in the direction that the scanner is telling us to do, until it reaches that position that it wants to get. We're going to adjust the angle. I'm going to try to leave it as close as we can to 0. And the offset this way, to the left, right there. Yeah, you got it, 1 point. All right, as you can see, all of them are in green. It's going to be really hard to bring it closer than that. We are 3 millimeters off towards the back. It's supposed to be 4078, but we're just gonna. It's really hard to get those 3 millimeters into position. So we're just gonna click OK. We're gonna click next. Okay. Okay. So okay. It's gonna close the camera kit, and that was the whole setup. So from here, we're just gonna click OK. And we're gonna turn on the laser. Gustavo? We're gonna turn on the laser, and we're gonna mark that position. Okay, so that's the mark that we're gonna paint in the floor, and we're gonna click OK. So from here on, we're not gonna need the frame anymore, because we got that position. We use the frame to acquire that that mark, and from here on, we're just gonna use the reflector. The reflector that we have has a laser, and that helps with the positioning of it. So we're just gonna aim. We're just gonna aim it at the center of the front distance sensor, the front radar. That laser mark that you see on underneath the emblem, Ayala. Okay, that's what we have. That's going to be our initial setup. Let's see what the scanner calls for. Sometimes it tells you to aim it at the bottom and then raise it up a little bit. So, will we do that? Okay. So, it is there. So, vamos para atrás. From here on, everything else we're going to do from the back of the vehicle, just to make sure that we don't interfere. Okay, so when you're going to command the calibration, nothing needs to be in front of the vehicle except the reflector. Okay, can you check the levels, Alex? So we're just going to adjust the knobs until we until the levels are centered. Double check. Okay, and next step. All right, like I told at the beginning, it's gonna say to point it at the bottom of the emblem. Alex, can you point it at the bottom? So we're gonna point it at the bottom of the emblem, and then we're gonna move up 22 millimeters. Number aquí, please.
Exactly at the bottom?
Yeah, at the bottom. Huh? No, lower. Where are you? At the bottom of the emblem. I mean, not the emblem. The cover for the yeah. There you go. A bit lower. Lower. And couple millimeters. There you go. There you go. What do you have on the ruler? Ayala? Let me see. We have 600 and that's 50, 40, 30, 20. That's 620. 622? Yep. 622, right? Yeah. We're going to bring it up to 644. Bring it up to 644. Let me double check. Just so we don't mess it up. 10, 20, and then 2 on top, right? Yeah. 40? Yeah, but right now it's 22, right? Yeah. Yes. So 44. It's going to be 10, 20, 30. The heck is that? All right, so that's 44, 644. All right, so that's the specification. And it's pointing out the center, right? Yeah. Okay. And we're going to click OK. Why is it calling for adjustments? Yeah, we're going to have to remove the cover. So if it's calling for adjustments, it's because it can be adjusted. As you can see, it's pretty close to 0. but actually it would not pass. I mean, the horizontal being at 0.11, it will not pass calibration. We need to bring it between 0.10 plus or minus. So we're just gonna remove the cover of the front radar and see what the adjustment can be done. Okay, so now that the front cover is off, we can adjust the position of this sensor. So we actually moved it a little bit so you can see what it takes to align it. Okay, so right now we have a 0.89, almost at 1 degree on the vertical axis. Can you turn it back on the left? Okay, so what, one turn? And that was for the horizontal. Send it back. So it's going to be one turn to the right. And let's do the horizontal first. Okay, horizontal. Do man, I lost track. Okay, so the horizontal. Do half a turn to the right. Okay, so right now it's 0.11 positive. We're going to turn it to the right. And it's 0.31 positive. So go back one turn to the left. So right will change it positive on the positive side, and left will bring it back to on the negative side. So that was too much. Bring it back half a turn to the right. Okay. And right there is within spec. Okay. Anything below 0.1, it's within specs. So now we're gonna check the vertical and then go back to the horizontal again. So on the vertical one, the other one, go 2 turns to the right. Yeah. One, 2. And we almost there. Like the way it is right now, it will, yeah, it's just, we're just gonna click it right. No. Let's just wait for this thing to stabilize a little bit. All right, so go back like about a negative a turn, like just a tiny bit. That's it. All right, so let's see what that does. So it's really hard to bring it into 0. It's always cycling like that between 0.0 and 0.1, which I believe is acceptable already. So from here, once we know that the measurement is less than 0.1 positive or negative, we're just gonna click OK. And the operation has been successful. So, okay, turn the ignition off. On, ignition on. Okay, and now we're gonna do the camera calibration. For the camera calibration, we're gonna split it into a different video. So we're just gonna end this video right now. It's this video was to show you how to calibrate the front distance sensor for the misalignment code, and that should be it. So we're gonna put the cover back onto the grill and test drive the vehicle. On the next video, we'll be doing the camera, so stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna continue with the other video. On this one, we're gonna do the camera. As you can see, we got rid of the other code, so the only one that is pending, it's the static camera aiming incomplete. So we're gonna start the calibration. And we're gonna do a camera calibration for this one. Whatever the procedure led you to do this calibration, that's what you gotta select. If you replace the windshield, you will be selecting this. If you repaired or replaced the camera, it'll be that. If you adjusted the position, it'll be that. If there's a DTC, it'll be that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what the difference is between all of them. We always select for all of them because usually that's the condition that we get. Something has been replaced, something has been moved in the vehicle, or there is a DTC. So we're gonna select this option and click OK. Our setup, it's like it's the surface that we have the frame on. It's the same as the vehicle, and these are the accessories that we're gonna need. The two targets, the clamps, measuring device, and the frame. As you can see, the clamps are still attached to the wheels. Atrás, los clamps on the wheels. So that's one of the clamps, and we have the other one on the other side. Let's check, Alex. And Alex is setting up the targets. Those are the two targets that we're gonna need. All right, so we're gonna start the calibration. As always, that's specification for clearance in front of the vehicle. We're gonna set up the frame. Step number one, as always, it's gonna be zero out the frame. All right, frame on 0. And we're gonna click next page. So we're gonna position the frame pretty much in the center of the vehicle. That's gonna be our starting point. We're gonna install the clamps, which we did already. Okay, loading up the camera. All right, so here, take it from here. So now, it's not gonna ask me to do the measuring because it's still the same session, and the vehicle hasn't moved and the frame hasn't moved. So it's not gonna ask you to measure again. When I say measuring, I'm referring to the positioning of the target that we put on the wheel to acquire the distance. That's what I'm referring to. As always, into the green, as close as we can to 0. Vamos abajo, porque eso lo tengo ahí arriba. All right. So we click next. Okay. And that was the setup for the frame. We're gonna click OK now. What do you say?
Yeah, further everything was set up. So now it's asking for the distance of the
target.
630.
630.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty standard distance from the center of the vehicle to the center of the target. 630 millimeters. If you don't have a frame, you're doing this with the targets alone. That's where you need to position it to. Like I said on the other video, I'm gonna try to show you how to do this. If you don't have a frame and you only have the targets, at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you what it takes to get done. Okay. 630.
Yeah, 630 or 630.
Let me double check. Not that I don't believe you, but I don't believe you. So that's 630 and 1020 30. Yep.
So now it's asking me for the height of the frame, 1500.
All right. Height. That'll be on the B side, right? You can see Layden. So the B side, we're gonna drop the ruler, let it touch the floor, and then bring that in to 1500. Which is all the way up there. All right. That's 1500, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna remove the ruler, put it back in place, click OK. From here, we moved. No, turn off the laser. We're gonna turn off the lasers, not the laser, the cameras. All right. Turn off the camera. Move out of the way. And command the calibration. Hold on, let me see. Okay. The operation has been successful. We're gonna click OK. We're gonna click escape. And we're gonna read codes again. So all the positioning is just to acquire that exact spot where it's going to calibrate to. All right, as you can see, there is no fault codes. We're going to leave this, and I'm going to show you on my computer what it takes to do it in case you don't have a frame. Here, okay, so let's go to my computer here. So 9 PBZ 040. Done. So let me see. So you want to make sure you enter the right VIN. This is the vehicle that we're working with. And we're going to pull information for both millimeter and camera. We're going to postpone that. Let's see if I can get that millimeter aim. Click here. Okay, so if you don't have the frame and you want to do it with just a reflector, this is the OE tool. We've seen this before on some other videos. I always try to do this so people that don't have a frame can still do this alignment, this procedure. So this code usually indicates that the aiming hasn't been done on the vehicle, right? P2583-54, and feel free to pause the video to read through this document. These are the distances from the front axle to this point. We have 4,000 millimeters or 4 meters or 157.48 inches, okay? From here to here. Quick thing, you start by doing this center line, okay? And then do these two lines away from the vehicle, same distance, so they will be parallel. And then the other one that's got to cross here is going to be perpendicular, if that's what it is, if that's how you say it. All right, so we have these lines, that's the center, 4,000 from here to here, 4,000 millimeters. That's the cover that we removed to get again access to the radar. With the original tool, it's going to tell you to point these to the bottom and then come up 22 millimeters. We did the same, but with the laser. This is where it tells you to bring it up 22 millimeters. I have this tool. I'm going to bring. I just have it at another place. I'm going to bring it to the shop so we can do one of those without the frame. So this is information that you're going to see on the instrument cluster while you're doing the calibration, and the codes that you might get in case you don't get a successful aiming. So this tool has a little hole that you have to put it right on top of this point right here. So where the center crosses this at 4,000 millimeters, that's where this goes, okay? Just like you see here, which is the tip of this reflector. Okay, this is the specification. Anything out of this would not pass. Like you said that we had 0.11, that would not pass. It has to be 0.1 or 0, 0.09, 0.08, positive or negative will pass. This is how you adjust it, left or right, for positive or negative. This is your horizontal adjustment bolt. This is your vertical adjustment bolt, okay? And this is the range of the radar. Those are the codes that you might get. And that's for the radar. Now we're going to go back, check for let me go get out of here and check again. Now we're going to check the camera. For the camera, it's this, not the lane watch. This one goes on the right of your on the passenger side. This is the one. Tools required are this, along with the targets. Distance, those are specifications. What does it say for? All right, so this is the code that you might get if it's if the aiming is incomplete. Again, like before, just like before, 4,000 from here to here. You draw a line across the center of the vehicle, and then you do another line that will cross this center one. about 4,000 millimeters away from the front axle. And those are the instructions. This is how you set it up. I've talked about this before. For this procedure, it doesn't give you the distance from the center to the center of the target, because the way the tool is built, they have that into consideration. So you just assemble it, and it will have that distance built in. But if you're working with anything else, just remember, from here to here, from this center to this center, 630 millimeters. From the floor to the top, to the center of the target, that is, I think it's 1,500. Yep, right here, 1,500 from the center of the target to the floor. And there is different ways to acquire this position and different ways to do this. Like you can see, they have 2 plumb lines. Okay, you don't need lasers, you don't need frames, you need the targets. That's what you need. How do you put them in front of the vehicle? That's up to you. Just make sure that the distances are the needed ones, and this calibration should pass, no problem. Okay, again, so those codes that you might get if it fails. If you have a newer vehicle that requires a dynamic calibration, after this, it's going to say that you need to drive the vehicle and put it into dynamic calibration. You can do that with the scanner, and it'll calibrate the dynamic version of this aiming procedure. So that's it for now. I hope you like the video. Remember, we have a lot of videos on the channel related to ADAS and electrical and electronic repair. So if you want to see any more content related to ADAS, check out the channel. We have some more content in there. All right. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.